AVC, Steen back again. Shoot another video. So this is going to be my second video of the four for recent acquired box sets. And as I said in the previous video, I think just wanted to spend a bit of time with them because these are, I mean, not my standard sort of everyday one. Someone's just chucked together a box set. There's a bit more to them than that. So yeah, I just thought I'd try and do them justice, really. I usually say do forgive the poor quality because I'm doing this on a normal webcam and it's usually quite dark and it all goes a bit but now it's quite bright and I have trouble seeing things, so there you go. Right, so this next for the next box that I have is an iconic band, more so than most probably what I've shown recently, which was my Oasis. Definitely maybe box set. Obviously this band's been around a lot longer. Cracked the world, most probably one of the biggest bands of all time, and I must admit my exposure to them has been quite minimal. I did have this, or a form of this album, but in my old record collection, I think it was a Simply vinyl. Did a copy of it, and to be honest with you, it sort of blew my socks off. And as I've listened to it, it's most probably, I would agree, the fact that it is one of the biggest, most iconic live records of all time. And you'll most probably understand when I show you the box set what I mean. It's absolutely fantastic. And when I went round to see a guy near me I get records off, he just had it in, so I thought, sod it, I'm gonna have it, really. And here it is, the Deep Purple, made in Japan. Now, as I say, I did have the original release, which I think was a gold background. When I say original, I don't mean an original. I mean the normal album that was out, as I say, was on Simply vinyl pressing when I used to collect vinyl before I sold it and restarted again. And maybe I didn't give it as much credit or consideration last time as I have since then. And I think it dawned on me, really. I was listening to Child in Time, and I heard it and I wasn't 100% sure what it was or who it was by. And when I found out, I listened to more, and obviously more, and I was most probably in people have different music situations where there's a right time. It's like it's the right time to watch a certain film. You may enjoy it more if you're in a certain type of mood. It's the same with me with music. My music tastes change. I think the first time I listened to it, I wasn't in that kind of place. But when I heard it again, definitely changed. I was listening to a lot more Led Zeppelin and things like that, so it was an easy follow-on, really. So, but just give you an idea of the size of this beast. It is a monster of a box set. So what it basically is so Made in Japan was Deep Purple's concerts in Japan in 1972. So they did 3 concerts that are in here. They did 2 in Osaka, and then they did 1 in Tokyo. So it's like the 15th, the 16th, and the 17th. And pretty much the track listings are the same, but if you do listen to it, they are different. But it does include slight different endings on the second night, where they did Speed King the first night, they did Lucille second night, and then did Speed King when they went back to Tokyo. So all of them do have my favourite track on, which is Child in Time. Whether it's live, studio, I just absolutely love that track. That's most probably my iconic track for Deep Purple, but that may change as I get more sort of, because I've not really got any other albums, and it's generally a case of what I can listen to on Spotify and things like that. So, but it's definitely something that I'll be investing more on. But Highway Star is very good. Smoke on the Water is obviously it's a classic track, but Child in Time is my favourite at the minute. So that's the kind of box it comes in. So pretty big. If you've got sort of box sets, you most probably, I think it's sort of similar kind of size to the Blur box set. Nice heavy box set, really nice condition. So you do get a download code for all of them in there, and it's done by it's what's it? It's Back in Black. Yeah. Sorry, I'm having a twat moment. Let me I use open the box. Sure, it's Back in Black. So Back to Black, Back in Black. No. So Back to Black. We've been doing quite a lot of good box sets recently, and I have picked a lot of them up. I think they do Sabbath box set. I'll have to have a look. But yeah, so I think there's 650 of these box sets floating around, but limited edition super deluxe, it's 9LP box set. So it's the complete 1972 Japanese tour. So this was 4 years before I was born, with encores, newly remastered on vinyl for the first time. So it's 180 gram vinyl. You've got the MP3 download code. You get a 60-page deluxe booklet as well. But it is 33 1/3 RPM with the amount of songs and albums there was. I thought it might be 44, 45. I've even forgotten the RPMs. There you go. That's how good I am. But yeah, so, but it's not, because it's live. The tracks are obviously very long, and what you'll tend to find is if you look at them, they've certainly sort of made it worthwhile. So this is your first one. So made in Japan, Osaka, 15th of August 1972. It's a lovely gatefold. As I take it, is most probably the Rising Sun. And then the normal thing on the back. So basically, as you see, there's side 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's see if I can show you 5. They're not polylined or anything, so I will get myself some black ochre or some kind of inner sleeves. One thing about a lot of sleeves, you've got a lot of people do unbranded sleeves and branded sleeves, all the different things. Quite a few of them come from the same factory, so I've had some before that have come from the Nagaoka factory, but not been branded that way, and literally £4 or £5 cheaper. So You know, if you're ever thinking about it, what you tend to do is, when I've seen there was only 5 sides, I just have a look to see if there's anything on them, and there is. There's each of them. I do believe they are the same, but it's just like a little message on there, and then you've got the deep purple made in Japan thing at the bottom, but it's very difficult for me to read the handwriting on there. But it's generally, I think it's welcome to Tokyo, or just says Japan. I can't read there. I expect to be Japan, and then it's got all the different people on there with a short message. So it turns to here is that, but they are all like say 180 gram vinyl. I've not had a listen to all of them, but let's had a listen to the first one, so the 15th, and it's very good recording. So first one, and as they go through, you've got the different colours, obviously distinguished one, and there's it's the different backs as well. So it's a deep purple made in Japan again. This one's Osaka again, but the 16th of August. Again, just with the different colouring, but the same kind of inner. But then the different artwork on the back. So again, you've got if you can see the assignments, this big chunkies are like a 3 set, so 2 in the first sleeve and 1 in the second. And then last one, which is made in Japan in Tokyo on the 17th. So again, just along with its colours, same in different artwork on the front and the back. Again, all of them have the sixth side with the messages on. I do believe they're all exactly the same. I've sort of had a look between this one and the first one, a really quick glance. I can't really distinguish any difference, but maybe they just had it that way to generic pressing of that side. Yeah, you've got the nice thing. This one reminds me of my Simply Vinyl pressing, and that's the colour that mine was with that front. And but it's got see that? Oh, but you've got all the people on there. So Ian Gillan, Richie Blackmore, Roger Glover, John Lord, and Ian Hayes. I'm not sure. It's Paice. I'm never good at pronouncing things if I don't know how they sound. So that's much where I was never good at French. But so you've got your nice thing there with the set list, and anything that's white is a nightmare today. And your different LPs on there. So guess where the line is where they go for the encore, comes back in. So Black Knight and Speed King for LP1, Black Knight and Lucille, LP2, and Black Knight Speed King again for when they're back in Tokyo. So sort of almost like an iconic picture from the time of the Shadows. Obviously not the Shadows, but it's yeah, the booklet is fantastic. So have a quick look through it, but just general information, saying certain things, you know, quotes from people about the album, how good it was, and information about the albums and the dates. you've got quotes from certain people. So there's quotes from Bruce Dickinson, Iron Maiden, saying about I never saw Purple or Zeppelin, so all I had to go on was their respective live things. And on that score, Purple kicked their pants. One of the great, if not the greatest, live albums ever recorded. And you've got Lars Ulrich, which is Metallica. Chad Smith is a Red Hot Chili Peppers drummer, commenting on sort of different people, the bands and everything. So real nice, easy to go through. And that's one thing I always have is you people talk about bands and then you talk about the changes and because this wasn't my era, and I never tend to follow very many bands closely as maybe some people did in the past. Maybe that will change, rather trying to almost get everything as pick my bands and focus more on the real things I want. So I do buy a lot of other albums and things like that, but if someone said to me, like my friend, fellow UK VCer, John, who was sort of Nottingham way, he will basically go on about Gillan and things like that. And to me, I've not got a clue. And as a music kind of person, as someone that likes music, it's almost sacrilege that you don't know some of the people that are in these great, phenomenal British bands. And you look at a lot of rock metal history, and you have to recognise the UK, Britain as a whole, for people like Deep Purple and Led Zeppelin and Iron Maiden and all those kind of bands that were, it's maybe you just really know, but I googled a list once and it was like bands that were from the UK, and it was incredible the talent that this country has produced. A lot of people will say certain things like a small island country, you're limited in certain things, and the one thing that we most probably have as a country is the imagination and concept for music. And some of the great bands that have stood the test of time and longevity of career throughout the world is from the UK, and it sort of makes you proud to be from this country. So considering our population numbers compared to a lot of other places, but certainly be trying to do more time with the VC in terms of things that I like and things that they deserve to be put on the VC, and trying to do the things I put on a bit more justice rather than just going box, 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 album. But there you go. So yeah, second video of the day. Hope you enjoyed VC, and I will catch you again soon. Cheers. Bye.